It's an incredible accomplishment. Some of y'all may not know, but Mr. Williams got a chance to go through the retirement ceremony. He was presented with the Meritorious Service Medal signed by Mr. Bewitz, who's a 2-star. But we can't send him off because we still little something from the DHR. So I was going to say, come over here, Darrell. I'll do my best. I'm not the greatest public reader. It's the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation Award to Darrell B. Williams Sr. for exceptionally meritorious service and outstanding performance of duty while assigned to the Administrative Services Division, Director of Human Resources, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Your dedication and hard work contributed directly to the success of the garrison's overall mission. Your genuine concern and the length you went to take care of soldiers and their families lends credibility to all of us. You can take great pride in the outstanding service you provided our soldiers daily. Your professionalism, dedication, and can-do attitude is in keeping with the highest tradition of civilian service and reflect great credit on you, the Fort Sill military community, and the United States Army. Signed, myself. We've got you for a few more days.
At this time, I will have some of the directors that are here. I'll give them an opportunity to speak, and then once we get through that, I will open the floor for anybody else who has any touching words for Mr. Williams. This man has called me a couple of times to make sure he got some time, so I'm going to turn the floor over to Mr. Cleveland.
I'm not going to call him Mr. Williams for one. He's Darrell to me, as you know. Darrell's been a great friend, and not just 10 years ago, but again, he made me feel really well when I got here, and I quickly assimilated back to DHR, and I felt like I hadn't missed a beat, really. You know, it was really amazing to me. And what I realized about Darrell, some things that haven't been said yet. He's tall, right? He forgot that. He's also from the Caribbean, and I worked in the Caribbean for a while, right? He kind of reminds me of the Caribbean, like a cool breeze. You know, there may be hurricanes blowing through, but he was like the eye of the storm. Never got too excited about anything. And every time I went to his office, it felt like we had a couple of beach chairs. He made me feel bad at home. We were sipping, of course, non-alcoholic beverages. You know, and what I really always admired and envied about him is his talent with his hands. You know, he made me this awesome kid. Did anybody else get a chance? Yes, indeed. Some of you did. Right, so it's the shape of a rifle. And put my name on there, and it really, I'm going to cherish this forever. I don't have that kind of talent. So in the middle of the night, I do play a little guitar, and I decided to write him a song. It may sound a little familiar, because I'm a Justin Bieber fan.
Is this live?
So I kind of tried to write him a retirement song. Appreciate it. See if I can remember this now. For all the times that you got up at 4, and after a shower you went right out that door. You think you'll break his heart, oh girl, for goodness sake. You think he's crying on his own, but he ain't. And he didn't want to write a song because he didn't want anyone thinking that he still cared. He doesn't, but you still blow his phone up. Moving on. And you think you should be something that he doesn't want to hold back. Baby, you should know that Darrell doesn't like working. He's done with everyone. He doesn't like to live. He's not having fun. He's been so caught up in his job, didn't see what's going on, but now he knows he's better sleeping at home. If you like the way Darrell works that much, so baby, you should go and work yourself. And if you think that Darrell keep holding on to something, you should go to work yourself. He goes, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Oh,
That day, right? It's been 20 years?
Yeah.
So he got there in 2002, I came on board in 2009, he was moving on the first floor, and then the next thing you know, it was like, he was in the basement. And he stayed in the basement. But anyway, I just wanted to say, thanks for all your help with you and your team, and your team has always been exceptional. Every time I come down, they always smile and I help, so that's an attribute to how you take care of your team. And show up every time, you always smile. I've never seen a bad thing. Of course, he's in the basement, so I can't. I live on a third floor. There's nobody presses a button to go up. But anyway, just wanted to say thank you for all your support, being a team player for all the different branches, and Garrison as well, because do all that stuff, regulations, forms I can never get off the website, but anyway, I'm working on it. So on behalf of the TAP staff and myself, we just wish we didn't know where to get you, so if you have another project you can work with.
Ms. Paul.
I brought you a card, but it's on the table. Home Depot. Work on mine. Well, I'm gonna, Dan has already tried, so I'm gonna take you guys way back, because a lot of you are new, and I don't know a lot of the faces here. But Darrell and I, we met in 2002, when we went to just an all-civilian organization. And I have a lot of memories of my time with him. But the one thing I remember was the first time I saw Darrell, he had on his little trench coat, he was cinched, and he was standing up there, and I said, who is that tall drink of water? Look, that tall drink of water was going to be my boss. I found out he was going to be my boss. My husband said, well, who's your boss down there? And I said, some guy, tall guy named Darrell Williams. I said, he must be 6'8". He's so tall. And my husband said, you better take a straw and dip it in that tall drink of water and just learn all you can from him, because I know him. And I didn't know that. I didn't know my husband knew him. I said, he's pretty smart. He's a soldier. So when I got over to the AG, as people call that then, I had a totally new job. I came from student records. I didn't know anything about reassignments, ID cards, awards, none of that stuff. So we had promotions we had to do. I had never had a boss that stayed by my side like Darrell. He was there. We were there at 9 o'clock at night. He was there at 9 o'clock at night. He was so patient with me, taught me so much. I was just so blessed that he just came into my life. And so I found out we had the same values. We had everything in common. We really liked each other. Then guess what? He introduced me to his beautiful wife. And she was the same way that he was. Generous, loving, funny, just all of that. And then on a personal note, my husband passed away unexpectedly. People forgot after a couple of weeks, as they should, because life goes on. They never forgot. Every holiday, everything that happened in their family was my family. And so I was by myself here, and he just took me in. I said I wasn't gonna cry. Let me suck it up. I'm like, let me suck this up. But anyway, as I was saying, I learned a lot just by, not only just by sitting with him going through things with me, I learned a lot just by quietly observing. I would watch the way he would talk to people. I would watch the way he would manage by just walking around. I would watch the way he even dressed and how people would take note of that. All these things, I had the best mentor that I could ever have, and I will be forever grateful for that. I always call him my big brother, even though I'm just a tiny bit older. I call him my big brother because even today, he still takes me under his wing. He still calls. He and June and I, we hang out a whole lot, and it means so much to me because I've been gone from the work area for 5 years now. And we're still like Ike and Mike, and so that tells me that he really cares, that he really loves me. I love him, I love June, I love their family. And I'm just really, really so happy and so proud of him because he's worked hard to be where he is. He's known to be the subject matter expert in his field. He's just all of that. And I just want you to be proud of yourself, Darrell, because you are some kind of awesome. And I'm glad that everybody here is recognizing that. That's all I want to say.
Okay, so back in 2013, I was hired as the education director for the education center. I was the new kid on the block. I was the youngest of all the division chiefs. I didn't know what I was doing. Mr. Miller would give out these things, these directives and these memos, all this stuff, and I'm sitting at the conference table, with all the division chiefs. Fortunately, I got to sit by Darrell because that was my assigned chair, Mr. Williams. And so I'm constantly looking over at him. What did Mr. Miller just say? What does he mean? What do I got to do? So he kind of looked out for me, and I really, really appreciated that because that was a very challenging moment in my life as a new division chief. And so I really looked up to him as an example of what a leader does, what they do, how they take care of people. And that's what Darrell's done all his life, both as a soldier and as a Army civilian. He's taking care of people. And his service to his country, both as a soldier and a civilian, how can you beat that? His attitude of service is top notch, and he's just a great example for all of us. And I really appreciate that. And I got to know you from some of the events that we've been to, and got to know you and the kind of person you are. We just really appreciate that time spent together with you. And so, Darrell, I really appreciate you watching out for me. Kind of like a big brother, little brother, and I'd call him on the phone and, how do I do this? How do I do that? He always kept me out of trouble. And I really, really appreciate that. So anyway, so Darrell, what the Education Center team did for you is we got you a card. There's a gift card in there to Home Depot because, again, we know how much you like to work with your hands and do home renovations and woodworking and all that. As you all know, he's very talented. And so I figured you could just spend that however you want, whenever you want, and just enjoy your retirement. And thank you for your service, and thank you for being my friend and my mentor. Thank
you. But I want to let you know that we really appreciate all the support that you have provided to the MPD throughout the years. Going back when you were with the MPD and now with ASD, so thank you for that. On a personal note, I want to say thank you because you gave me an opportunity back in 2006, 2007 to be part of the MPD family. And for those that don't know, before he brought me on board, a year and a half earlier, I got a phone call from CPAC and I got 2 job offers, one for the MPD and one for 428 Brigade. So I decided to go to 428 Brigade and not the MPD, but then 18 months later, I applied for that job in New Harmony. I've been grateful for that opportunity. I want to let you know, I think I told you during the retirement ceremony. Early, Anthony mentioned 2 keywords, mentor and leader. And those are 2 characteristics that clearly distinguish yourself. And I appreciate all your mentorship, your leadership, and I wish you nothing but the best. Enjoy your retirement.
Two, there have been a leader, he's been a friend, a mentor. Darrell is all of that. And me and Darrell have been up and down. We've had disagreements, but we disagreed to agree. And which he's a good person because just because we disagree, we still friends. And it's just sad that he's leaving. He's a real surprise, real wholehearted person. He's got a heart for everybody. And Junebug, you are the same. Y'all are like twins. You go to their house and nothing changed. Like right now, nothing changed. You go to his house, everything's still the same. He come to my house, it's still the same. Darrell is a great friend. Darrell, I love you and Junebug. Yeah, I hope y'all have nice things coming up. But it's sad. Thank you.
She's already crying.
He already cried for me, so maybe. So, kind of like Miss Smith said, my first encounter with Mr. Williams was in 3164, and I was getting out of the military in 2006. I didn't think he was tall, drinking water, but I was like, ooh, that chocolate draw. I was ready to get out, so I was rolling. When I came to 4700, and on a professional side, from the day that I met Mr. Williams, just like Ms. Smith said, he has so many things to emulate, leadership-wise, dress-wise, and on a, I don't know, y'all. Wait, hold on. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is everything that you have, Mr. Williams, that you passed down, I want to say that's showing in me, because Ms. Smith was the best leader ever. No. The best leader ever. I'm not gonna look at her no cry. The best leader ever. But I know that those things are some of the things you taught her, that she learned from you, and the baton that you passed on to her, she passed on to me when she retired, and I have it in my office. So every time I see it, every time I look at it, I think of you all and how you took care of your people, and I still try to do that to this day. Like, even a lot of things, there's not many people left in student records, but those of us that are left, like Miss Thomas and Miss Nevins, when we do stuff, we say, Paula, this is Paula Smith way. This is Paula Smith way. Paula Smith would let that happen. Paula Smith didn't play that, and we still, to this day, make sure that we keep some of the things all of the things in check, as far as our dignity and our quality of work, and also taking care of people. Like making sure that we take care of people outside of the workplace. Anything personal that goes on, and it's one of the things that you do so well. In the beginning, you can ask my husband, I was like, I'm not a man like that. You're going to pay somebody to do that. And then after a while, I saw how genuine it was, how sincere it was, and how it was no strings attached, like none at all. He is just a humble, loving person. And when I met Miss June, I just expected someone to be so buttoned up and so, not Miss June. And that made me even more comfortable, because we would laugh for nothing. If a pencil fall on the floor, we laugh. Just hollering, just depending on how it fell. So just the comfortability that we would have with you all in the office. I appreciate the environment that you provided for my husband, because even though the work that I do sometimes can be a little frustrating, he comes home with a cool head, he's ready to listen, because of the environment that you created down in your, not saying that my environment's crazy, I'm just saying. I love my job, guys. But like I said, there's not many older people left from training student processing branch, but those that are there, you still have impacted them. I don't know how, probably all 8 feet of you walking through, just smiling and grinning, but we did chip in, and we got these 2 gifts for you. You want to open them? Okay. This is yours and yours. And this is the shirt. I don't know how the shirt is. So while they're opening, I'll say, if anybody's ever been around Mr. Williams and felt and witnessed and experienced any of the traits that mostly everybody has mentioned, try to emulate that. Try to be that for your crew, whether you're a subordinate, leader, whatever level you're in, it matters. It really does matter.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Well, I ain't gonna miss y'all because I'm still gonna be over y'all house.
Right.
We'll have an empty next room so include us on them trips. But give us like a year to pay for it because we got tuition.
It was sometime between 2002 and 2004 with PCS here from Hawaii. And a mutual friend sent me to your office. That was when you guys were on the regularly. And because I was looking for a job. And I remember how pleasant you were. You didn't know me. You didn't know my then husband or anything. It's just that a friend in common sent me there. And took a look at the resume and like, are you prior service? No. Are you there? No. Well, I wish I can help you, but you can tell your husband that he can see me when he retired. And my answer was like, you find the job himself? You got better, chances. Anyway, time goes on. I didn't work with you. I only heard great things about you. Even though I didn't work there, I got friends that work with you. Rumors are that you are the bestest supervisor to work, kind, all great things. Mr. Mert, Stoney, that I talk to some people. So even though I didn't work with you, I felt like I knew you because of all the great things that I always heard. And those that know me, even if I didn't know you and work with you, I like, I know you, and hug, and you're always so pleasant. You're always so, I wish that I have worked with you, but like you said, like they said, the legacy and all the great things are there. And like I told you earlier, Ms. June, even though I know that we have been introduced, but I felt like I know you too because when they talk about him, they talk about both of you. The people that work with you talk about you guys as a team, And I only interacted with you in the Christmas party and the order, things like that, and you always been just like that, pleasant. So you will be missed. I don't have to just do like this. But thank you.
Some people just haven't come right out and said it. He is the best dressed man in the garrison, maybe in the installation. And in a weird circle of life connection, I'm connected to Darrell's family 32 plus years ago. Before I even joined the Army, I supervised Darrell Jr. As the shift manager at Pizza Hut out on the east side of London. So we've had that circle come back, and I've got the opportunity to work with him. And all of this is a testament to you, so take it in. That it's something really to take away, that you've had this kind of impact on this many people, and the respect that you have from the people here and throughout the garrison. So thank you. Enjoy your retirement. Ma'am, I don't know you, but obviously you carry a lot of respect here as well. So best wishes, Godspeed to you both.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I would be remiss if I wouldn't come up and thank Darrell, Mr. Williams, here at his retirement. He is one of the reasons why I was able to be where I'm at today. I got laid off from DHS in 2020 and was Department of Human Services. I live in Evan, and so I come up here every day on the shuttle. So when I got laid off, you know, I was laid off for a year and a half. Couldn't find anything, and I was wondering, like, man, you know, got all these credentials and everything, and so I said I need to expand my search, right? So I was talking to an old friend of mine, Sergeant Major retired Richard McKellar, and so it's kind of funny how God works sometimes. And so even though I didn't know Mr. Williams, we kind of know some of the same people, so we have similar backgrounds, you know, HR professionals. You know, served in 82nd, so that's where I retired from. And then so McKellar served in 82nd, so he knows Darrell. And so me and McKellar were drill sergeants together back in '92. And so I was talking to McKellar one night. He said, "Man, why you didn't tell me you was thinking about going work at Fort Sill?" He said, "I know some people there." So make a long story short, you know, I got put in contact with Mr. Williams, and then so the rest is history. So I talked to Darrell, and so I came up, met Mr. Miller when he was a DHR, and he said, you know, I don't have anything right now that's in alignment with your education and experience, but I can put you to work. And so, you know, I came in, you know, took a job and everything like that. And so, you know, make a long story short, I want to thank Darrell. And it kind of goes to what everybody is saying. You know, he didn't even know me, but, you know, based on, you know, a mutual friend, he had the trust and confidence, you know, and gave me that opportunity and vouched for me and talked to Mr. Miller and whatever the case may be. And so that's a testament to the type of human being that you know, this family is. And I don't know Miss June, but like everyone is saying, you know, they're kind of like two peas in a pod, you know, big hearts, willing to help everyone. And so when I grow up, I want to be just like Darrell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just like Darrell.
Absolutely.
So, I met Mr. Williams before I met Mr. Jones. His former employee, Rebecca Chambers, when we worked the journey together. And she was like, when we moved here, she was like, there's an opening coming up. And she said, come talk to my boss. And she told me, take it down. You're not going to understand. She can do your accent really well. I'm like, okay, Rebecca. So, you know, she told me to come up, what day to come up, and I met Mr. Williams. And the answer that he gave me, and to this day, that's why I have the utmost respect for him. He was honest. He said, hey, this is this. You know the conversation we had, I'm not going to put it out there. And he said, but, he said, keep trying. He said, the next time he came up, Rebecca told me again, and it was a different job. He said, I'm going to introduce you to Ms. Smith. You know, he told me where she worked at, she was there that day. And so that's when I met the queen, and I referred to her. And as Ms. Threat said, everything that Ms. Smith said, I see when she said to pay her yes for everything that she got from you meant to her, and she passed it down to us. And just yesterday, Ms. Threat was like, don't forget your pink, because you know it's Thursday, we wear pink on Thursday, October. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing a pink maker. And she said, huh? And I didn't answer her. She came over to me and she said, what do you mean a pink maker? And I was like, a Polish Shamika. And so she was like, what? And so I didn't have a pink dress shirt, but I had a shirt that, you know, was kind of dazzled with hope on it. It was like a leopard print. And I dressed it up with some slacks and some heels, and she would have been proud of me. So that was my pink maker. But as she said, you mentored her, she mentored us, Ms. Brett is mentoring us still, and it all started with you, and I just want to thank you. And so I was like, outside of being an honest man and just saying flat out, hey, this is what it is. When I met his wife and realized that we were only where we're from, it's 25 minutes apart from each other, I was like, I knew he was a great man. He got no Georgia. So thank you so much, and I still want the opportunity to come and volunteer with you and work with you. I'm surprised I'm ready now. My knee is back at 100%, but I'm good. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you guys after, you know, post-retirement, and I love you guys, and thank you so much.
I know Mr. Williams back, like Anthony said, back in the previous, before Y2K even existed. I remember we were in the same unit in Japan, and that man is so cool. Let me tell you why. I know the secret. It is at least one earthquake a day in Japan, and he's always been calm. Well, pushed back to 2004, and I retired overseas. I don't know that many people that do that, but I wanted to do that because I had my 20 years, so I thought I was done. So my wife wanted to come to Fort Sill. God bless her for that. So I'm over there getting those, I don't know if you do that anymore, but getting those things for the license plates. That's another benefit go down the tube. And I'm going up the stairs and he's coming down and I looked at him and he looked at me and I said, well, I know him. So then we got to talk a little bit and his first sentence after the little pleasantries was, what are you doing? You know, let me just tell you, I was worried. I'm about to get my pay cut in half. My wife had already developed that Michael Kors taste. I was worried. She started looking for a house double the size of one we had. I'm thinking we should go look halfway. So he asked me what I was doing, and I tell him, and he said, "Do you want to work?" And I said, "Sure." But then in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know how that's going to happen. Those idiots at CPAC cannot get me. I have a master's degree. What do you mean I can't get a GSA? But anyway, he worked it out where within a couple of weeks I was working. And I just want him to know that just like when we were in the military, just like we're here, I am grateful. I found another job because he put me to work with this guy here, so I had enough, I had to leave. So that's you, Darrell. Raise your hand. An opportunity came about. So for about 4 days, I'm sweating. How do I tell this man who gave me my first opportunity to work as a, how do I tell him there's something else? How do I tell him? I struggle with it. But then one day, you know, because like somebody told me once, the commissary take cash, check, or credit. It was a little bit more money at the time. So I went and talked to him, and to my surprise, he was so cool. Because he knew that I needed, you know, that it was going to be good for me. He wasn't one of those like, oh, you ain't going nowhere, you stay. Or even try to promise something that he couldn't do. He was cool about that, and I will thank you for that. And then as the world turned, now he was in charge of my son. And everybody at least I want the best for my kid, no matter how old he is. And I knew, because you remember what he said. He said, when he's your first boss, what happened after? Let it be known. He said that, I didn't. But what I'm going to say, Mr. Williams was my first civilian boss. No say with that. So I want to thank you. I mean, words doesn't express the gratitude our family have for you, your spouse, the kids, the things you done for me, the way that you saw things that I didn't see, the way you see things on him that not even I can see. But I got a different lens because it's my son, but you saw him as an employee, and I thank you for guiding him the right way. And thank you for everything you've done for us. And from my organization to yours, thank you. And I do have a few projects, and I know they're not free. I'm okay, but we're going to get you a show on HGTV.
I might cry. I met Mr. Williams. He was a great mentor to me and everything. I cried when I had to leave. I was so terrified. Upstairs. I thought I was a little still real rough. I thought I was going to have to hurt somebody. I got good customer service and the employee service. I was that's why I always leave outside the door. I'm like, I ain't there yet. All the way around. I walk all the way around. But I was so mad at him. I wanted to beat him up every time I see him, but he's like a brother to me too. I mean, I was glad that I got the chance to meet everybody and have fun, even though they ain't got on my nerves. He prepared me, he roughed me up and everything for up there. And I went up there, I shined. You know, I had come down there like, oh, well, I'm doing it. It was hard work. I still think about you. As I scroll through Facebook, I was like, yeah, I get better every day. You know, the little thing, all right, I'm gonna keep it up, keep it up. But I appreciate everything you did for me. Still like come to my house today, that, you know, put your little stamp out there, you know, we got a open field out there, just need some love out there, so I know you're free. I'm free. We got all the cards right there, we can do something. Now that I know you want to do home more, you know, I will come around there, and you probably see me when I'm put up on the camera. But I will come over there, but you come on, we can do it together. I got some tools. So I'm glad at how you went toward me and helped me, because I was rough. I took it out on Ben when he was dishing it out. I was like, yeah, stretch me. I can do it, you know. But it's been fun. And I know they're going to miss you. I'm glad I left and I ain't had to be there for a friend. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.
Into MPD about 34 years ago, and just right off the bat, I just fell in love with him and Miss June because they're just really, really good people. And I know sometimes I get really anxious, and I think I sent him a message because I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean it like that. It's because, you know, he's a director, so most people of his GS level, you're kind of uncomfortable around. But he makes you feel just comfortable. He was like, it's okay, you know, just chill out, relax. I know you didn't mean it in any kind of way. And just to see everyone, I've never heard anything negative about Mr. Williams or Miss June. They're just really good people, and I strive to be like them, you know, just to be genuine. You see them on the, and they do it from just out of their heart. You know, some people do things for acknowledgement, but they do it out of just the kindness of their heart. And I've kind of made myself a part of their family. I always tell them, well, I'll just stop by and ring your doorbell. I'm already playing them. And I just want to say that I'm thankful that I met you guys. And I know you keep telling me I need to find out exactly what I want to do to my house. But you know, if the doorbell rings, you'll see me on camera. I love you both.
Like, what gifts can you get someone who not only has everything, but means something very dearly, not only as a boss, but as like a friend, a big brother, a mentor. And so we came together, we set up a plan, and we hope that you enjoy these. Now, as everybody here has mentioned, it's not a he, it's a we. He don't do nothing without Miss June. And Miss June don't do nothing without him. And so our gifts reflect that. This one right here is going to be for you only, sir, and you'll understand it when you get it. But everything else is going to be for both y'all, because we know that you don't do anything without Miss June.
This is nice. You know, every Halloween I have a Batman outfit. She got a Batwoman outfit. People come by the house and they say, "This is where Batman lives." That's perfect.
So this is right here one of the first gifts that we have for both of you guys.
The white tag is yours, Mr. Williams.
We got the matching bracelets, leather bracelets.
Okay.
Is that black?
Yes.
So the black one goes to Miss June, and the blue one is bigger. It's a little wider for Mr. Williams' wrist. Sorry about that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This one right here, sir, we know that you have some plans in the future, and so we figured we would help you along the way.
Luggage.
I could probably fit in there.
Okay. Well, yeah, we do plan doing a lot of traveling.
So much like the bracelets, we got a matching sets in a black and a blue. But because we know who our boss is, we thought ahead for technology-wise, sir. So you know, you got a spot for the iPad, your tablet, all your connections, your Apple Watch. And then you have the little store and go, so you can easily pack a week's clothes in there and it'll fit in here, and you don't have to worry about being over and you know, having to take things out. So we know that you guys are gonna have many weekends where you just grab this and go. On behalf of the ASD and other organizations, MPDs, and as many people as you touched over your life, it wasn't even nowhere near possible to secure all the photos and everything, but this is just a quick snapshot of what you have done to not only the ASD organization, but the DHR in Fort Sill in general, and all the lives that you touch, and previous employees, Belinda, Jennifer, Kim, and all the people that you have worked with. So we just want you to look back at that and have fond memories of your mentorship, and there's also areas for you to expand and put more in.
Thank you.
Now, sir, the floor is yours.
This is a lot. Thank you very much. Mr. Helen, chiefs, and co-workers, and everyone else, thank you all very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to support me and my wife on this endeavor. 21 years ago, I left, my wife and I, 7th grader, 11th grader, left DC to come to Fort Sill. And prior to leaving DC, I was assigned to Fort Meade. Did my first sergeant time there, did 1 year first sergeant time. And then got selected to go to the 2001 inauguration committee in DC, presidential inauguration committee. And that's an 18-month assignment. I don't know if you all know, but it takes 18 months for a one-day ceremony to set up a one-day ceremony. And it takes 600 service members from all 5 branches to actually set that up. So after leaving there, they gave me an option to come to Fort Sill to finish up my first sergeant duty. The Kwajalein Islands out in Hawaii, or Fort Knox. Fort Knox wasn't what it is now. Fort Knox wasn't, FirstCom wasn't at Fort Knox at that time. So we decided that Fort Sill, we've never been to Fort Sill, never been in this area, so we decided to come here. 2 months before we got assigned here, I came here permissive to Dubai to look for a house. And we was gonna rent because I was in the secondary zone for Sergeant Major. So I didn't know if I was gonna get selected and then have to go to Port Bliss and then PCS from Port Bliss somewhere else. So we wanted to rent a home. So I came here 2 months before my assignment. And I think I looked at about maybe 40 houses. And it costs the same to rent than to buy a house. So I went ahead and purchased a home, took pictures of it, brought it back to her. Said, this is the house I just bought. It was brand new, so she had no issues with it. So we got here in June of 2001. And I was supposed to go to the 95th Reception Battalion as the first sergeant, Jane. But Lavender, I don't remember Master Sergeant Lavender, she didn't do her first sergeant time yet, so she went to the 95th and I stayed in the military personnel division. As the strength management, the chief of the strength management. And a couple months later, we started and found out that we were converting from 150 soldiers to 65 civilians running the military personnel division. I went to Colonel Jones, who was the AG at that time, and said, I'd like to have one of the GS7 positions. I want to retire, but I didn't want to move my kids anymore from school and so forth. So he said, okay. He said, I want you to apply for the GS10 position, which is the higher position. It was called a project manager. Project manager, what's a project manager? Found out that project manager was basically the chief of the military personnel. So I applied, got selected, and we converted from 150 soldiers to 65 civilians. I want to thank Paula Smith, who was one of my division chief, was my branch chief. Mickey Fontenot, who unfortunately passed away a few years back. Jackie Cook, McGinnis, trying to remember the ones who are here right now. They were some of the leaders in the organization that helped build the organization. Jim Darrell set up, as he said, GS4 working in the student branch, a permanent party branch. So we built up the organization, and then 2008, we converted from the AG to the DHR, and we accumulated ASAP, Education Center, Mike, Admin Services Division, which was under DOOM at the time. They moved under the DHR, and that was it. But Mr. Miller, when he came on board as a DHR, he asked me do I wanted to run the ASD. And I applied for it, and I moved down to ASD in 2008. The crew that I have down there right now, I mean, when I started off, I had 11 employees. When I took over, I had to get rid of a whole bunch of them because it wasn't working. I didn't know you can get rid of civilians, so I did. Yeah, I remember some of the crew. They'll come to work high.
That's too much for me.
So it was a challenge. But thank God the crew I have now do an outstanding job. I hate to go, but I have to go. It's been 20 years. I've been total of 42 years total service. It's time to go and spend some quality time with her. Back in 1982, I left Germany. I left early. My brother was stationed in Germany as well. He passed away at Junior Forger. He was 87, I was 5. I left early, went to St. Croix for the funeral back home in the Virgin Islands. And they sent me to Fort Jackson. While I was on leave, they told me that you'll be going to Fort Devens instead of Fort Jackson. Packed up my bags, went to Fort Devens. As soon as I walked in the orderly room, she was the first person I saw. She was signing out going on leave. So the next day I went looking for her. I was asking folks, tell her what she looked like and stuff. She said she went on leave. So when she got back, I was at the all she wrote. We got married in '83. Got 2 wonderful sons and 12 grandkids. So that's one of the reasons why I'm retired. I want to spend time with her and spend some more time with grandkids. I appreciate everything that you all do and said about me. I didn't see that. All I know was just doing my job and trying to take care of people. That's all I said. I want to thank each and every one of you. I mean, there's so many of y'all that I want to thank, but I think we're another time. But Van, I'm passing on this baton to you, so you can pass it on to the new ASD chief, whoever that may be, and pass on all the duties and responsibilities, and help them out to be. Thank you. Tracy, passing the baton to you. Make sure you do all those extra duties and take to the new division chief. Nicole, pass it over to you as well. Shaki,
Thank you,
pass
sir.
the baton to you.
Yes, sir.
Anthony. Pass on those duties and make sure you take care of the new boss. That's the only way they'll take care of you. I said he or she will take care of you. You just got to take care of them. It work both ways. I'll tell you, my last story is that there were just 6 monkeys they put in a basement, in a metal basement, and they observed these monkeys. They had on the floor of the basement they had electricity, and in the middle of the floor they had a pole and they put bananas up on the top of the pole. So every time they put the monkeys in there, anytime the monkeys start climbing, they shock the other monkeys at the bottom. So after a while the monkeys realized that they're being shocked because a monkey was climbing up the pole with the banana. So after a while, the monkeys were on the bottom stopped pulling the monkey down who was trying to climb up. So it became a routine. So the monkeys they stopped climbing because they were just pulling them down. So after a while, they replaced 3 of the monkeys with three of the monkeys with new monkeys. So the new monkeys came in. They didn't know the reason why things were happening. So they started climbing the pole. And the other monkeys, the 3 monkeys that were there before, started pulling them down. So they didn't know why I was doing it because they weren't shocking the monkeys anymore, so they didn't know what was going on. So after a while, they pulled each other down, they didn't know why. The 3 new monkeys didn't know, the old monkeys knew. So they replaced those 3 old monkeys with 3 new monkeys. And they went in there and they started pulling each other down anytime they started climbing. Didn't understand why they were doing it, they just kept on doing it. So the moral of that story is that once you go into a new organization, don't listen to an individual what to do. You need to read the regulation and figure out how things work. So read, and understand the regulation. Don't just listen to other people, or you get lost. So that's my story to you. Thank you all very much for coming out. Do you have anything to say, Miss Lady? First Lady?
I do want to thank all of you guys. You are like family. You will continue to be my family. And I love each and every one of you. And I got to thank this man right here. Because it's been in my life for 40 years. Like, we grew up together. And I appreciate everything you've done. I know you will continue to do. I tell you, my life with him has been like a fairy tale. This is my knight in shining armor. He's that too. He wears so many hats. I know.
One more thing, y'all have a great boss. Lorenzo Heller, the new DHR. He's going to take care of y'all not only as a group but individually as well. So give me all support and he'll give you all your support. Thank you.
I'll give you the 100 when you walk out.
taking out your time on your busy days. We have cake in the back. It's marble cake with Mr. Williams' cheese and picture right in the center. Please feel free to look at it. Please have a slice. And thank you guys again for coming.